You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the eighth, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. Come on, and I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to my people at WVOX 1460 AM, upstate New York, where I once toiled as a radio personality. Anyway, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. It's the 25th already of January 2024. And you are partaking of listening, watching the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and the RonKellyShow.com. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Appreciate your indulgence in my nonsense. It's just a couple of minutes past 7 o'clock. And boy, was I, a shout out to Councilman Louis Velez. I don't have you, if you're listening, Councilman Velez, I don't have your number. So if you still have mine, please, because I've gotten a new phone since the last time I spoke to you. So if you have mine, please text me your information so I can get together with you and we can talk about bringing you on the program. All right, 7:03, as a matter of fact, right here on the Ron Kelly Show on a Thursday, 7 o'clock as usual. I am here with my black, I don't know if you can see that, Black Wall Street t-shirt on. You know, and what if white people, what if white people had a shirt on that said white people or white Wall Street? You have a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Black folks and others would have a fit if white folks went around with t-shirts with white, not white only, but white Wall Street, white, you know, this or that or the other. We would have a heart attack. So every time I put this t-shirt on, I kind of think like, should I? But anyway, it's just a couple minutes past the hour. So yeah, I was shocked to hear, for those of you who are listening to me in the Passaic County area and all across the United States of America, about Sheriff Berdnik, who I knew. Passaic County Sheriff Richard Berdnik, who I knew, who was a guest on the Ron Kelly Show some time back. And I was shocked to hear that Sheriff Berdnik committed suicide. I'm like, wow, that was very shocking. But it just goes to show that you never know what a person is thinking about. And you never know what people are thinking. And I was shocked to hear that under such circumstances, he was at a restaurant. The person who owned the restaurant was being given the key to the city by Mayor Andre Sayegh for his contributions to the community during the epidemic. So I was shocked to hear that. Sheriff Berdnik committed suicide. As I said, he was someone that I knew. I knew him. We weren't friends, but if I saw him, he would see me, we would know who each other were. And he was a guest on the Ron Kelly Show. Appreciate his time that day. So yeah, so you never know what a person is thinking. Because a lot of us say, well, what would make somebody want to commit suicide? What would make someone like the end is the answer. You know what I'm saying? The end of the life is the answer. I'm like, what would make anybody think that? Because for a lot of us, it's unconscionable. Like, I'm going to give up my life. I'm like, no, I'm not giving up my life. And so for a lot of us, it's unconscionable that someone would choose to end, to terminate their life. It seems so crazy. But yeah, Sheriff Berdnik, who was loved by many, who was a long-time Passaic County Sheriff, who's reelected 5 times, and he's now dead. So I'm like, wow. So excuse me, what's going to happen is people are going to be thinking like, well, what did he do? And he must have did something to somebody, and or maybe he got caught up in this scam because, well, it's not necessarily a scam, but 3 of his deputies deputy sheriff's officers were, oh boy, why am I starting to cough all of a sudden? 3 of his deputies were, I gotta take a break because I'm like, I can't talk. Take a break, come right back with more. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com and RonKellyShow.com. Okay, wow. That was right on time. I am back. Oh, my headphones. Can't hear myself. All right, I am back. Welcome, everybody. It's the Ron Kelly Show. Boy, I had to go get some water. I mean, I'm like, wow. Yeah, I hadn't even started talking yet, and I'm already choking. But anyway, thanks for joining me. So, yeah, so you never know what a person is thinking. And there's no way to tell if someone is suicidal. Like, there's no way to tell. No one expected Sheriff Berdnik to kill himself, especially under the circumstances where he did it. Because most people go somewhere and they're all alone and they do it in the middle of the woods or something like that. But he did it in the bathroom during a party for the owner of the Toros restaurant in Clifton, who was being honored by Mayor Sayegh. As a matter of fact, he was given the key to the city. So, yeah. So peace be upon Sheriff Berdnik, someone who I knew, because a lot of times we hear about people dying and we don't know them. We're like, oh wow, that's too bad. But when it's somebody that you actually knew, it's different. And I did know Sheriff Berdnik. Okay, 9 minutes past the hour. So, wow, it's crazy that it happened. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So we're going to talk more about the interracial relationships, because spurred on by Jonathan Majors, who was the rising star on the Marvel and Disney movie scene, who was summarily booted by the powers that be when he was convicted of 2 of the 4 counts of harassment and abuse. So what were your childhood dreams? What were your childhood dreams when you were a little kid? You know how they ask little kids, you go to the kindergarten class at 1st, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, whatever. And you ask the little kid, like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And, it's funny that many of us don't ever get there, So how many of us can honestly say that we are living our childhood dreams right now? How many of us can say, like, we want to be a fireman? How many people out there are firemen who wanted to be firemen when they were a little kid? Or how many people want to be police, doctors, lawyers, whatever the case may be? So what was your childhood dream? What was your dream as a child what did you want to do as a child to your aspiration? What did how many of us actually get to those aspirations? How many of us actually get there? So we'll talk about that in a little while. And because there was a firestorm last week with the folks who were a little bit perturbed by what I said about, black men marrying or cohabitating with white women, and why are black women so angry? And I'm talking from experience. Now, is it because they go through more? Is it because black women go through more? or he's just angry. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Shout out to one of my sponsors, Amaker in Porterfield Transportation. Amaker in Porterfield has been providing for 40 plus years safe, reliable transportation to and from your destination. Amaker at Porterfield at Verizon.net. Amaker at Amaker.Porterfield at Verizon.net. Amaker.Porterfield at Verizon.net. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later on. This guy on TikTok. There's a brother on TikTok that has devoted his life to trying to get people to acknowledge, trying to get people to not be religious. God is a joke. God is a fake. And I'm like, I'm curious. Matter of fact, he was on the program, and I didn't ask him, but I do want to know why you have devoted your life to. Some people devote their lives to church or being religious or the Holy Ghost or whatever, and then there's some who are just totally against it. So I'm gonna see if I can get him back on the program, or at least get him to call in to the show so he can tell us all why he's so vehemently opposed to religion and Christianity. I was in church. I'm a member. I'm Christ Church in Rockaway, Montclair, and Clifton. As a matter of fact, they have a church there too in the AMC Theater on Route 3. They have a service there as well, which I need to go check out. And so, and sometimes I wonder, because God, people say, God talked to me. I'm like, well, okay, well, was it in English? Did he talk to you in tongues? I mean, was it telepathic? What? And what did he say? Now I know that there's somebody out there. I'm not saying that there's no God. Of course not, because I do believe there is. But, you sometimes wonder, wait a minute. God talked to you? Okay, well, what did he say? How did he say it? Did he yell? Was he nice? Was he mean? What was the story there? So I'm like, wow, okay. Yeah, so we'll get to that. But, because I think about it, because a lot of us, we work and it's just where we wound up. It's certainly not what we really aspire to do. Because I tell you, I did not aspire to do what I do for a living. I did not aspire to do that. That wasn't my my idea. Okay, so I'm just being told that the Wi-Fi connection is not good, but I'll continue on with the program as long as I can. Hopefully it'll stay on. Shout out to whoever that was on YouTube, just checking out the Ron Kelly show. People, the Ron Kelly, it's blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly show.com. And we're also broadcasting live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter, which was destroyed by Elon Musk. So I know for me, because I wanted to talk about this for a minute. I know for me, I'm certainly not doing what I think or what I aspire to do. I mean, I'm not doing it right now. What I'm doing, I work, I'm just making a living. I'm not doing what I aspired to do as a kid, but I'm living. So, and I have a good job, good paying job, great paying job, as a matter of fact. And, great paying job, as a matter of fact, but it's not what I wanted to do. So when I was a little kid and they asked me, hey, what do you want to be, little Ron? And I was about 7 or 8 years old. I said, hey, I want to be a police officer, but I never pursued it. And I don't have a record, so I could be a police officer. I mean, not now, because I'm a few clicks past 35. But I remember saying certain things, and I remember some of my classmates saying certain things, and I've watched over the years how they interview kids and they ask the kids, what do they want to be when they grow up? And I wonder how many of those kids actually pursued that. I wonder how many of you guys actually pursued what you aspired to do as a child. Because right now I work and I have a good paying job and it takes care of me, but it's not what I wanted to do. Like what I'm doing right now is what I really want to do. I mean, I changed from being a police officer to being a talk radio personality. And it's not really what I want, but what I do for a living is not what I really wanted to do. So I wonder how many of you guys out there have said, I wanted to be this when you were a little kid and then you grew up and took that on. I wonder how many of you have done that. You can send me a message on Facebook if you're listening, Facebookers. You can send me a comment and I'll definitely put it up on the screen and I'll address you. So yeah, because again, what I'm doing, I have a good job. I have a good benefits, pension, all of that stuff, but it's really not what I wanted to do. So right now I'm just doing something to make ends meet, but it's not what I really wanted to do. So if you think about it, I know my friend Ron, who I went to school with when I was a kid, and he and I don't remember what we said during that classroom, but I don't know. But anyway, hit me up on Facebook, because Facebook is live. They're all live, but I'm monitoring Facebook primarily because that's where most of the listeners come from. So you're watching the Ron Kelly Show. It's live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, and LinkedIn. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take a quick break and I'll come back and we've got a whole lot more to talk about right here. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, along with Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Oh, and that's me, everybody. But I'm a little bit older than I was when I took those pictures. But anyway, just a little bit. And you can still tell it's me or was me or whatever the case may be. Shout out to Patricia Wilder, who has stage fright, I guess. Or maybe she just doesn't want to be on the radio with me. I don't know. But shout out to her and whatever it is that she's partaking of. Anyway, it's 20 minutes past the hour. You're listening to me. It's little old me. It's the Ron Kelly Show. I said Trump has got to go, and Trump is coming back. Trump did go when we made that break piece. Trump did go, but Trump is on his way back now. And Biden better get his thing together, because there's a lot going on here in the United States of America. Still the best place to live anywhere in the world, in my humble opinion. Still the best place to live. But Trump is on his way back. He won Iowa. I'm probably one of 8 people in the whole Facebook world that listen to this stuff. Won Iowa, won New Hampshire, on the way to South Carolina. That'll be next month. And even though Nikki says she's going to stay in the race, I don't know. But we can't let Trump get back in. We cannot let Trump get back in. We just can't do it. So everybody's got to come out and vote. Even if you don't think that politics works for you, in many cases it doesn't work for us. In some cases. But we cannot let Trump get back in. Because when Trump was the president, Trump cut the corporate tax rate. This is the rate that these big companies, AT&T and Comcast and Apple and some of these other companies, the rate that they pay, they used to pay 35% of their earnings. So Trump cut that by 14 points. So now it's 21%. See, because the idea, people, as I was talking to somebody about this today, and they were saying, well, they did that so the companies can have more money to hire people. But the companies did not hire nobody. Because if I got a company and I have 300 people in my company and I get a windfall tax cut like Trump gave to corporate America, I'm going to keep going with, I got 300 people. I'm making it with these 300 people, so I'm going to stay with them. I'm not going to go hire a bunch more people. I'm going to keep that money. And that's what many of these companies did. They kept the money. They didn't hire nobody. They kept the money. And Trump was just doing a fave for his corporate friends, thinking it was going to translate into more golf memberships and more people staying at Trump hotels and resorts. And that's what it was all about. 14%. Did Americans, did the middle class get a tax cut? Hell no. We didn't get nothing. We got the flim flam pyramid scheme nonsense, and we didn't get no tax cut. We didn't get nothing. But the rich and powerful got a 14%. I wish I can get a 14% tax cut. Maybe I'd finally start getting the check back instead of having to pay every year. So that was about Trump and his wealthy pals, and that's exactly why he did that. So you can't let him get back in. You cannot let Trump get back in because things are going to change. Civil rights, because black folks are at the end of with the bottom of the totem pole. Matter of fact, black folks are underneath the ground, like the base of the totem pole. That's what we are. And I see black people and they're behind Trump and they're like cheering, hold these big flags, blacks for Trump. No, not all blacks. No, not all blacks are for Trump. And I don't want to make it a racial thing. It's more about an economic thing, and the have-nots will be ignored. The have-nots will be ignored. So we can't let Trump get back in there. We can't. We got to put a stop to his ass. We cannot let him get back in there. So when we can't do anything about Iowa or New Hampshire or South Carolina or Nevada, wherever else he's going, but you can do something about it here in New Jersey, and you can do something about it in your state and all across America with the Ron Kelly Show. Ron Kelly Show is being broadcast around the world, actually. The show is accessible by anybody, Africa, somebody in Botswana, Europe, Asia, anybody who can listen to the Ron Kelly Show. They just have to find me. Anyway, so we cannot let Trump get back in. Cannot let Trump get back in. We got to do something about that. So y'all got to be down with me. You got to be down with the R, and we can't let Trump get back in. I need to let you know, right, that the views and opinions expressed here, now I'm talking about Trump, he might try to sue me. The views and opinions expressed here are exclusively those of myself and R. Kelly Media Enterprises, LLC, which is the parent company of the Ron Kelly Show, and are not those of my advertisers or my support team. And the Ron Kelly Show was being sponsored by Amica and Porterfield Transportation. I'll talk to you about that a little bit later on. See, so we can't let Trump get back in. We can't. But again, I'm still like shocked at the self-annihilation, the suicide of Sheriff Berdnik in Passaic County. And wow. Because you wonder, like I opened with that, like why, what would make you want to kill yourself? Because there's no amount of shame, there's no amount of guilt. In my estimation right now, as far as my mental state right now, no amount of shame, no amount of guilt, no amount of embarrassment, no amount of anything that would make me terminate my own life. There's nothing that would make me do that. So I'm like, but people do. They even constructed a special net at the Golden Gate Bridge, because Golden Gate Bridge was the number one place in the world, in America anyway, where people committed suicide. So they built this net all the way across the bridge. And so you have to be a real good jumper to get past this net because it juts out like 30 feet, something like that, 40 feet away from the bridge. So you got to be really good to, to jump off the bridge. But in the end, the Golden Gate Bridge is something about it that draws people there, and they want to commit suicide at the Golden Gate Bridge. So that's what they do. Something about the Golden Gate Bridge. But anyway, everybody, it's 27 minutes past the hour. This is about halfway through the program, and you're listening to, in case you don't know, you say, who is this guy? It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. Yeah. So, dude. So. I mean, I don't know if anybody. I know me. I didn't. Like I said, I'm working. I have a good job. I make good money, and I got great benefits and pension and all of that stuff. But it's not what I aspired to do when I was a little kid. I wanted to be a police officer, but that time has passed now because you got to be under 35 or know somebody, to get in. But what I'm doing now is just not making ends meet. I'm doing well, but it's not what I really wanted to do. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there who aspired to be certain things when you were a child or growing up. You aspired to be certain things, and somehow you hit a fork in the road. Somebody threw you a curveball or whatever, or that just didn't stick with you, and you're not doing it today. So I'm sure there's a lot of us, and part of that, is a lack of. Part of that is the lack of positive role models, because I didn't have any role models when I was growing up. My sister, God bless her, she had an alcohol problem. Well, she had a problem. Let's put it like that. And two of my older brothers had problems too. My sister's still alive. Three of my brothers are dead. So there was 5 brothers. Now there's only 2 of us. And I didn't have any role models growing up. And as a kid, I didn't have any role models. And I think that's a problem especially in the Black community. There's not many role models that you can look up to and say, okay, my daddy is a fireman, I want to be a fireman, or my daddy is a police officer, my daddy is a lawyer. Because you hear about that all the time in the White community, where parents send them to college. If the father's a lawyer, the kid turns out to be a lawyer, then he joins the firm, et cetera, et cetera. But that's rare in the Black community. That's very rare, where we don't have people to look up to. We don't have people to look up to. And I respect Jay-Z and all of these people, LeBron and some of these other people. I respect them all, but everybody's not going to be a LeBron. Everybody's not going to. There's only one Jay-Z. There's only one LeBron. And so I'm not saying that you should try to reach that stratosphere, but the reality is that a lot of us are not going to get that high on a totem pole, And so we didn't have. We didn't have. I didn't have positive role models when I was growing up. No, there was nobody around. And I'm not saying that that's how I wound up, because I never been to jail, any of that stuff. I have been in law enforcement to a degree. So it's not like I haven't done anything. But no positive role models when I grew up. And like I said, there's a culture. The culture, in the Black community, there's no culture. There's no set of standards. There's no set of values that we all follow across the board. When just about every other ethnic group, there are the Hispanic, Asian, Arab. There are standards that they go by, that everybody goes by, the same standards. But in the Black community, we just kind of flopping around and flying all over the place, and there's no stand. And I'm not trying to be critical of the Black community, because I love the Black community. That's why I'm here. but we don't have the culture, the values like other ethnic groups do. And that's why the Black community is kind of like off the hook right now today. Okay, let me see who's saying what here. My cousin. This is my actual cousin, everybody. George Crawford, retired, doing his thing, chilling out. Maybe if you was hanging around me, cuz I might have, if you were hanging around me, maybe I would have did what I really wanted to do in the end, But my cousin George is a role model. He just wasn't. We lived in different areas of the country, so he couldn't like raise me and give me guidance. Because this is what happens in the Black community. We don't get that guidance. We don't get that guidance like most of other people do. Go into the family business. Go, and these type of things. You see it all the time. I've worked with people who the great-grandfather, the grandfather started the business, and and the grandkids moved into the business and they took it over, and now they, and I've seen that. But you don't see that often in the Black community, at least not in the Black community I live in. You don't see that much where there's an established business and you're adopted into the business. I mean, having that isn't the best thing for everybody, because some people just have no. When you're in a business where you have to deal with people, some people people I've worked for at the time, I'm not going to say who they are, but they did not get it. They did not get it as far as growing up, wanting stuff, aspiring. I want to save up and get this car. I want to save up for this vacation. They didn't have to do that. They just, it was right there at their fingertips, and so they didn't have to aspire to be anything. Because one of the guys was a lawyer, went to school, was a lawyer, and came back to the company. Maybe he couldn't cut it as a lawyer. But shout out to my buddy Albert Vega, who I haven't seen in years, my brother. Albert Vega, DJ Tiny. I remember that, DJ Tiny. I haven't seen you on Facebook or anything, brother. We need to have a conversation at some point. Yeah, and DJ Albert Vega's agreeing with me that he didn't get that either. We didn't get that. So what we're doing now is just what I'm doing now. I'm just working. I don't like it. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather be doing something else. I'd rather be on the radio, getting a nice check. And I'll take what I'm making right now, to be on the radio. No problem. Just like I'm sure Albert Vega would rather be a paid DJ rather than to do what he does. I think I can safely say that. So we're right now, we're all, except for my cousin George, who retired. God bless you, brother. I'm sure that Albert Vega would rather be, getting, a couple of G's a week or whatever, or doing gigs and getting paid, and and he agreed with me. Yes, sir, absolutely. Yeah, he'd be doing gigs, getting paid, and doing his thing instead of whatever he's doing. I'm not saying whatever he's doing is not worthy of praise or anything like that, but I know for me, I damn sure ain't doing what I really want to do. I mean, I don't go to work with an attitude, because it's not their fault. It's not my. I don't know if I can say fault, but it's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? So I can't go to work and be want to kick everybody in the ass because I didn't reach my goals. You know what I mean? So it's wild. But no, I'm not doing what I want to do. But I got to stay in this business and keep pushing, and just like Albert Vega, DJ Tiny, he's got to do that too. You got to stay in the business, keep pushing, keep working. And see, it is hard to aspire to do something else. It's hard to go. When I went to broadcasting school a few years back, it was hard. Sometimes I would come home from work and went straight to school in my uniform and everything, and went straight to school. And school closed at 11 o'clock, so it was hard. It was, I mean, I do have my degree; it's hanging right there on my wall, but it was hard. It was hard, you know. And even with a certificate in radio and television, it's still difficult. But I'll get there. God has got me in the oven, and when the pop-up time, remember the pop-up timer, the Purdue, when the timer popped, that meant it was time to take the chicken out the oven. Well, when my timer pops, I'm going to take my chicken out the oven. Okay, it's about 23 minutes before the hour. We'll take a quick break, come right back. And I want to talk about the relationships and and why is black women so angry? Why are y'all so angry? Most of y'all. Anyway, we take a break, come back with more. It's the Ron Kelly Show, everybody, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, and on Twitter, presently known as X, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, everybody. Please do go and subscribe, because I got like no subscribers. LinkedIn and Facebook. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com. All right, we're back, everybody. It's Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com and RonKellyShow.com, all over social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X, formerly known as X. Anyway, thanks for joining me. It's 21 minutes before the hour. So I kind of started a little firestorm last week when I talked about African-American women. Shout out to Anthony Moriano, who gave me the thumbs up. Appreciate you, Anthony Moriano. Somebody who I worked with quite some time ago, but still remembers me. That's very nice, Anthony. Thank you so much for joining me on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. So I talked a little bit about Anthony Majors. Anthony Majors is the former movie star who is not a movie star anymore because he did something to his girlfriend, and they say he did so. And you can't condone. You can't condone domestic violence, no matter what. I won't condone domestic violence. Domestic violence is I've been married more than once, and I've wanted to like smack, I've wanted to crack, one of my ex-wives, upside the head. But I didn't. I was able to control myself, because sometimes it can be frustrating to be married and you feel like you're stuck, you can't get out, and you got to lash out somehow. But I don't condone what he did. I don't condone what Jonathan Major did, but what he did, and see, you even for somebody on the ground floor like I am to somebody as high as he was, you have to remember that you're going to jail. If you hit a woman, you're going to jail. That's just the long and the short of it. And it seemed like, like our sisters really push the buttons, because they be all in your face, and they be, the black women I'm talking about. Y'all can, say what you want to say, but the black women. See, the black women don't have no fear. Most of the black women don't have no fear. Some women will, in some ethnic groups, will take everything that you dish out. Some women, the man come home and smack him in the face every day, and they deal with it. See, black women ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? They're calling the police, or they're gonna smack you back. because black women do not, for African American women, black women, however you want to put it, they don't just roll over and play dead, you know. And I talked about it last week about why black men tend to sometimes date black white women, you know. And it's been my experience that white women are more amenable to what we as black men do. You know, see, the white woman ain't going for it. I mean, the black woman ain't going for it. The white women are, to me, in my experience, I've been on both sides of the coin. And what I saw with white women, they were not as aggressive, they were not as angry, and they were not as combative as black women were. And don't get me wrong, I love my black women, especially the dark-skinned ones. I'm a big fan of dark-skinned black women. No disrespect to the light-skinned ones, but I'm a big fan of dark-skinned black women. Love my melanin, love my Nubian African queens, love them to death. But boy, let me tell you, you better watch your back. And yeah, so I don't know why that is. I don't know why black women are much more aggressive and much more angry. I mean, maybe because what they've been through. Because I don't think that white men, I'm not saying that they're any better than we are. And maybe it's just because there's much less black people than there are of white people. So it's kind of like a concentrated thing. But yeah, black women will not, you know, they will handle their business. They will not sit back and let you just black on them, you know. And I was saying that was one of the reasons why that some black men, especially, you know, on all levels, and we noticed with the famous ones because they're famous, so we noticed it. But the black women, I mean the black men gravitate toward white women because white women are kind of like easy to get along with, to be honest, you know, because I've dated white women and they were a lot easier to get along with than black women. They weren't confrontational, they weren't combative, they weren't, you know, because Patricia Wilder, who is a friend of mine, she said that black women be holding it down. And see, and that's it. I think that's where the anger comes from the father not being there, and you know, the woman having to do everything on their own. So they just kind of turn militant when it comes to that. You know, and then like some cultures, I think, allow friends and other people to make comments about their relationship, you know. But you know, Michael Strahan, Jonathan Majors, you know, you can go on and on and on about black men who have gotten together with white women. But you know, in my opinion, white women, and I'm not, like I said, I love my black women. Fight me. I love my black women, but there's a, and I don't know that it, I'm not sure like why that is, but black women are much more combative than white women. Shout out to Suzanne Newman, who I know was a friend out there in Staten Island. Thanks to you. But yeah, but the white women that I've known were much less combative than black women. Suzanne Newman, as a matter of fact, says, I disagree that white women, I guess she says, will just take shit. I would rather discuss things or walk away. I get joking. Suzanne Newman is a white lady. I disagree that white women will just take shit. I would rather discuss things or walk away. No reason to be combative. If it's not a mutually respectful relationship, why be apart? And absolutely true. Yeah, and I know what you meant. I know what you meant, Suzanne. Women, not wine. I know. I got you. But yeah. And I'm not, you know, my statements are not like, I'm not saying overall that white women just sit back and just take shit. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that white women are a lot less combative, a lot less confrontational, a lot less. I mean, for the most part, I'm not saying across the board that every white woman in America is what I'm saying right here today. What I'm saying is that they are less combative, less confrontational, less angry. They will give you a chance, for the most part. I'm not saying all, because Suzanne Newman just straightened me out. But yeah, 13 minutes before the hour. So yeah, and I agree with you, Suzanne. It's not, it's not white women who just take all shit. Because I know everybody has a breaking point. I'm sure that the white women got one too. But yeah, and it's funny that and I know for a fact that there's black women listening to the Ron Kelly show, and none of them have come on the air to contest what I'm saying right now. It's not saying right now. It's not saying right, but yeah, none of them have come on to contest what I am saying. So yeah, so I don't think that all black women, all white women, I don't think that every black woman in America is combative. I don't think that every white woman in America is subservient. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that, from my experience, for the most part, black women are very confrontational and angry about something. And it could be because black women have had to hold it down, as Patricia Wilder said to me. They had to hold it down. And that builds anger. When the husband is not there, when the mother has to do everything, it builds anger. It builds anger and it builds frustration for the black woman. They have to do everything. They got to take the kids to school and everything. Albert Vega says, so are Spanish. So are Spanish women, my brother. So Albert, so Spanish women, yeah, they are. They are. I agree. Spanish women are like fire. They ain't trying to hear nothing. So I think the Spanish women are even, and on some levels, are even more confrontational than black women. But like I said last week, though, Albert, white women, Hispanic women will be out there with the man working, whatever it is. I've seen women doing lawn keep, whatever I forget what they call it. And I've seen them out there, and they stick by their man. Albert Vega also says they are not shit. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I know. The Hispanic women are much like the black women. They're not going to take your shit. True indeed, my brother. True indeed. Oh, I'm running out of space for no, you can keep commenting. Whoever wants to comment, please do. The Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. So yeah, Spanish women are fired. They are fiery. They don't take your shit either, But a lot of times, though, Albert and everybody else, it depends on the situation. If the man is paying all the bills, and the woman really don't have nothing to worry about, she doesn't have to do anything. Sometimes women will stay in those type of relationships. They're like, hell, hey, he's paying all the bills, So I'm not, I mean, they may not want to take an ass whooping every day, but lots of women will stay with the man. If the man, especially if the man is upwardly mobile, the woman will stay with him. If he owns a supermarket, she's not going to go anywhere because she's living lovely, and all of that's going to end if she walks out that door. So in some cases, the women do stay in a bad relationship because of money. Suzanne Newman says men shouldn't be given that results in a combative situation. Well, I'm kind of torn with that one. But Suzanne Newman says men shouldn't be giving Now, I don't quite understand what you meant by that. You're gonna have to come back to me. It's about it's about 12 minutes before the hour. But yeah, some women stay in a relationship because they, hey, they got it good. Why should I go anywhere? Shit, I got the bills are all paid. All I gotta do is cook every now and then or whatever. If he wants to go out and cheat, let him go cheat. If he wants to, he wants to have another woman, hey, go ahead, knock yourself out. Because the women, the guy's making money and he's doing well and they living well. Why should she go anywhere? But and I'm no expert, I'm no expert on relationships. But yeah, but Spanish women and black Spanish women and black women are not going to take your shit. White women too. Suzanne Newman says, I guess I don't understand that a woman shouldn't put up with a man that is stepping out. Yeah, you're right. But again, it depends on the situation. Some women will stay with a man because he's taking care of everything. She's got a nice car. She's not paying no car note. Really live in a nice home. No, Suzanne, you're looking at you're right. You're looking at things correctly. You're right. A woman shouldn't put up with a man that's stepping out on her. No, she shouldn't. But some women do, because of the money or because they are what? Fearful. Yes. There's women who are being abused. Men's smacking the shit out of when he come home from work. It's not funny, but he come home from work and he smacks her upside the head, right? Or they have no other options, right? Some women have to stay with these nincompoop men. But I don't condone violence, domestic violence. So you shouldn't. You should, if you feel like you want to leave. That's what I used to do. I used to leave. When I, felt like I couldn't deal with it anymore, I just left. Let me get the hell out of here. And I'm not a violent man. I wasn't brought up like that. No, not at all. Not at all. Hijack as much as you want. And I say that to anybody. You can hijack the comments. You're welcome to it. The more the merrier. Don't ever be sorry to reach out to me here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. But the black women, because and this stems from something I heard. I heard a black young lady say that Jonathan Majors should not have dated a white woman. That's what she said. You shouldn't. It's a funny way she put it. But she was saying that he shouldn't have dated a white woman. And she basically was saying that when you date if you're famous and you date a white woman or not famous, sometimes they will turn on you, and that was her point. That's what she was saying, that in the case of Jonathan Majors, she was saying that white women will turn on you. If you're dating a white woman and you're black, that eventually she'll turn on you, and she'll, just look at having a Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan's wife was taking money out the account. She was a white woman. I'm not saying that she's a thief because she was white, or she did what she did because she was white. But see, this is the whole thing. Like, people associate ethnicity to things going wrong in a relationship. Now, personally speaking, I think that if Jonathan Majors had a black girlfriend, the same thing would have happened. But most of the time, though, the black women, they call the police and they refuse to charge the man. So I'm not sure. Nobody knows what happened except Jonathan Majors and the girl he was dating 4 minutes before the hour. Nobody knows what happens besides Jonathan Major and the girl, the white woman. that he was dating. Okay, so listen, y'all guys, if you have something you want to talk about, do contact me. rkellytalk at AOL.com. That's rkellytalk, TALK at AOL.com. If you have a subject you want me to broach, put my expert opinion on, sure, I'll do it. rkellytalk at AOL.com. rkellytalk at AOL.com. Don't worry about if your subject sounds crazy or whatever. You submit your subject to me and something that you would want me to talk about. I'll talk about it. No problem. Any subject, no, there's nothing that's off limits. And whatever subject you want to talk about, we can talk about it. R. Kelly Talk. Get a pencil. Hurry up. R. Kelly Talk at AOL.com. That's R. Don't give it to me here in the comments. R. Kelly, TALK at AOL.com. Hit me up with an email of what you want me to talk about. And yes, I absolutely will talk about it for sure. And I appreciate your indulgence, everybody, here on the Ron Kelly nonsense. It's 3 minutes before the hour. So yeah. Nobody knows the whole story. There is always more. That's right. Nobody knows. So even in the courtroom, you get in the courtroom, and we'll talk about that next week about the justice system and what could happen in the future. I'm gonna get together with you guys. I'm gonna talk about that next week. Yeah, of course they do. A pencil. I don't even have a pencil. Do I? Check my little thingy right here. I'll be writing stuff down. See all these pens? Check that out. That's a lot, right? Markers, highlighters, everything. I'll be doing stuff while I'm sitting here at the table with my homemade studio talking to you guys. And yes, they do still make pencils, Suzanne Newman. And my buddy from grade school, Ronald McCready. How are you, my brother? I hope all is well. Ronald McCready is the only person I remember from grade school. He's the only one. I haven't seen anybody else. That was a long time. Well, it wasn't that long time ago, but it was long enough, Ronald McCready, long enough. Love you, brother. Glad you're still here. Appreciate you indulging with me here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. So yeah, once again, if you have a subject that you want me to discuss or you want me to bring up, whatever the case may be, R. Kelly Talk, R. Kelly, TALK at AOL.com. That's R. Kelly Talk, TALK at AOL.com. Thank everybody for joining me. Cousin George, love you, brother. Hope to see you soon. Albert Vega, Suzanne Newman, everybody else, Ron McCready, everybody else who chimed in with me here on the Ron Kelly Show. Thank you, Albert Vega, as always. DJ Tiny, Ron McCready, love you back, brother. Love you, man. Appreciate you. Stop coming in at 7:45. And Lamar Gates, Paranormal, Lamar Gates. I don't know if Lamar Gates still does his show. God, I almost forgot what it was. Yeah, I don't know. Go on YouTube and do Lamar Gates, and he should pop up. Thank you, my brother. DJ Tiny, love you, man. You know how we do, brother. Love you, man. Love you. Always. Ron McCready. Okay, it's not paranormal. Okay. Oh, it's near-death experience. That's right. Near-death experience. It got another name with Lamar Gates, but the gist of his program is near-death experience. So people think they died and they woke up. Okay. Yeah, thank you, brother. Whatever time you call in or whatever time you come in, it's fine with me. Okay, 30 seconds left. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. We'll see you back here next week for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. So until then, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And that we may not have it all together, but together we can certainly have it all. Thanks so much. See you next week. I'm out of here.